2026 is not bringing ordinary new cars. It is bringing machines that could change what speed, luxury, and technology even mean. Electric SUVs are becoming faster than supercars. American performance cars are stepping into hypercar territory, and luxury brands are turning cabins into private jets on wheels. Some of these cars will shock the industry. Others may shock the world. So watch until the end, because number 1 could be the most controversial new car of 2026. At number 10, we have a Subaru that feels like it was built for people who want the future, but still refuse to give up adventure. This is the 2026 Subaru Uncharted, an all-electric crossover that takes Subaru into a more aggressive, more youthful, and more surprising direction. At first glance, it does not look like a traditional Subaru. The shape is sharper, the stance is lower and sportier, and the fastback roofline gives it a more urban, almost concept car personality. But underneath that modern design, Subaru keeps the spirit that made the brand famous: confidence, control, and all-weather capability. The Uncharted is expected to start at around $34,995 for the entry version, while higher AWD trims can move into the low $40,000 range. That makes it one of the more interesting electric crossovers coming in 2026, because it is not trying to be a six-figure luxury EV. It is trying to be the electric Subaru for real people. People who drive through rain, snow, city streets, mountain roads, and weekend escapes. In its strongest version, the Uncharted delivers up to 338 horsepower through a dual-motor all-wheel drive system. That is serious power for a compact electric crossover. Subaru says the AWD models can sprint with the kind of instant electric response that makes the car feel alive the moment your foot touches the accelerator. And with available Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, X-Mode capability, and about 8.2 inches of ground clearance, this is not just another soft city EV dressed up with plastic trim. The range is also important. The front-wheel drive version is expected to offer more than 300 miles of driving range, while AWD versions are estimated around 290 miles. Charging from 10 to 80% could take around 30 minutes under ideal DC fast-charging conditions. And with NACS compatibility, access to the Tesla supercharger network makes it much easier to live with. Inside, the Uncharted feels clean, digital, and practical. A large 14-inch multimedia screen dominates the cabin. Wireless smartphone integration keeps the tech simple, and higher trims add premium touches like a panoramic glass roof, Harman Kardon audio, and a 360-degree camera system. What makes the Uncharted shocking is not that it is the fastest or the most expensive. It is shocking because Subaru may have finally found the right formula for an EV. Affordable enough to matter, capable enough to feel like a Subaru, and modern enough to pull new buyers into the brand. At number 9, the 2026 Cadillac Optiq V arrives like a warning shot from Detroit. This is not just a stylish, compact luxury EV with a Cadillac badge. This is Cadillac taking one of its most accessible electric SUVs and injecting it with real V-Series attitude. The result is a machine that feels elegant from a distance, but brutally quick when the road opens up. The Optiq V is expected to start around $68,000, making it far more attainable than Cadillac's ultra-luxury EVs, yet still positioned above the regular Optiq as the performance version. And for that money, Cadillac gives it numbers that sound almost unreal for a compact electric SUV. The dual-motor all-wheel drive system is estimated at 519 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. Activate Velocity Max, and this luxury crossover can launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3.5 seconds. That is super sedan territory. Inside a quiet premium electric SUV. Visually, the Optic V looks more serious than the standard model. The front end sits low and wide. The lighting signature is sharp and futuristic. And the V-Series details give it a darker, more athletic road presence. It does not scream for attention like a supercar. It stares at you with cold confidence, like it knows exactly how fast it is. Inside, Cadillac keeps the luxury atmosphere. Expect a curved digital display, premium materials, sport-inspired seats, available AKG audio, and a cabin that mixes American luxury with electric-age technology. It is not trying to be a minimalist spaceship. It still feels rich, comfortable, and emotionally connected to Cadillac's old-school prestige. But the real shock is how Cadillac is changing its image. For years, people thought of V-Series as loud V8 sedans, tire smoke, exhaust thunder, and gasoline drama. Now, Cadillac is proving that performance can be silent, instant, and electric. The Optiq V competes against performance EVs from Genesis, BMW, Tesla, and Mercedes-Benz. But it brings something different. American luxury with a darker edge. It is fast enough to surprise sports cars, refined enough for daily life, and bold enough to make people rethink what a Cadillac can be in 2026. And that makes it one of the most unexpected electric performance SUVs arriving next year. At number 8, the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 6N is proof that the future of performance does not have to feel silent, soft, or soulless. This is Hyundai taking an electric sedan and giving it the attitude of a street-legal track weapon. The standard Ioniq 6 already looked futuristic, with its streamliner body and slippery aerodynamic shape, but the N version turns that calm electric silhouette into something much more aggressive. The front bumper looks sharper, the stance is wider, the fenders feel more muscular, and the massive rear wing makes it clear this is not just an eco-friendly commuter with extra horsepower. Underneath the body, the Ioniq 6N uses a dual-motor, all-wheel drive setup, producing 601 horsepower, or up to 641 horsepower with N Grin Boost. Hyundai lists 0 to 60 miles per hour at approximately 3.2 seconds with N launch control, and top speed reaches up to 160 miles per hour. That puts this electric sedan directly into the territory of serious performance cars, not just quick EVs. The battery is an 84 kilowatt-hour pack, and under ideal conditions, charging from 10 to 80% on a 350 kilowatt fast charger can take about 18 minutes. That matters because this is not only a car designed for straight-line acceleration, it is built for repeated excitement. With stronger brakes, 20-inch performance tires, electronically controlled dampers, and an N-Tune chassis made to handle hard driving. But what makes the Ioniq 6N truly shocking is the emotion Hyundai has engineered into it. Most EVs chase silence. This one creates drama. The N eShift system simulates gear changes, while N Active Sound Plus adds a performance soundtrack that makes the car feel more alive. Some people may call it artificial, but behind the wheel, it could be the difference between a fast appliance and a car that actually talks back to you. Inside, expect sport seats, digital displays, N-specific graphics, performance controls, and a cockpit that feels focused without losing daily comfort. Estimated pricing could land around the $60,000 to $70,000 range, depending on market and options. The Ioniq 6N shocks the world, because it proves Hyundai is no longer just chasing Tesla, BMW, or Porsche. It is building electric performance cars with personality. And that may be even more important than speed. At number 7, the 2026 Mercedes-Benz CLA Electric is not trying to shock the world with aggression. It is trying to shock the world with intelligence. This is the kind of car that proves the future of luxury does not always need a massive SUV body, a wild spoiler, or ridiculous horsepower numbers. Sometimes the future arrives as a sleek, elegant, compact electric sedan, designed to make everyday driving feel cleaner, quieter, smarter, and more expensive than it actually is. The new CLA Electric is expected to become one of Mercedes-Benz's most important EVs because it sits at the gateway into the brand's electric luxury world. Pricing is estimated to start around the mid-$40,000 range in the US, with higher trims likely pushing beyond $55,000. That makes it a direct rival to the Tesla Model 3, BMW i4, Polestar 2, and upcoming Audi electric sedans. But the CLA has something very Mercedes about it. The exterior is smooth, aerodynamic, and futuristic, with a low nose, clean body surfaces, slim lighting, and a coupe-like roofline that gives it more presence than a normal compact sedan. It does not look cheap. It looks like a smaller luxury concept car that somehow escaped onto public roads. Underneath, the CLA Electric is expected to use Mercedes-Benz's new MMA platform with 800-volt electrical architecture for faster charging and stronger efficiency. Depending on configuration, range could reach well over 400 miles on the European cycle, while US estimates will likely be lower. Some versions could charge from 10 to 80% in roughly 20 minutes under ideal fast-charging conditions. Inside, this is where the CLA becomes dangerous to its competitors. Mercedes is expected to give it a high-tech cabin with large digital displays, elegant ambient lighting, premium materials, advanced driver assistance, and the new MB.OS software system. It should feel less like a basic entry-level car and more like a miniature S-Class for the electric generation. And if you love luxury cars, hit the like button, because cars like this are the reason the next decade is going to be beautiful. The CLA Electric shocks the world because it could make premium EV luxury feel more reachable. Not cheap, not ordinary, but reachable. A Mercedes that whispers instead of shouts, yet still makes every driveway feel a little more successful. At number 6, the 2026 BMW iX3 Neue Klasse is not just another electric SUV. It is the beginning of a new BMW era. For decades, BMW built its reputation on the feeling of control, the balance of the chassis, the confidence when a road begins to curve. But in the electric age, BMW has to prove that its soul can survive without the sound of an engine. And the new iX3 may be the car designed to answer that question. Expected pricing in the US could start around $60,000 to $65,000, with higher trims moving closer to $75,000 or more. That places it directly against the Mercedes-Benz GLC EV, Audi Q6 e-tron, Porsche Macan Electric, Tesla Model Y Performance, and Genesis electrified GV70. Visually, the iX3 Neue Klasse looks cleaner, bolder, and more futuristic than the current BMW SUV family. The front end is more vertical. The kidney grille becomes a digital design element. The body surfaces are smoother, and the lighting signature gives it a concept car presence. It feels like BMW is no longer trying to make an electric version of an old SUV. It is building a new identity from the ground up. Underneath, this SUV is expected to use BMW's new Neue Klasse EV platform, with next-generation battery cells, improved efficiency, and faster charging. Range could reach around 350 miles or more in some versions, depending on final EPA testing. BMW has also discussed major improvements in charging speed, energy density, and software performance for this new generation. Inside, the cabin should feel radically different. Expect a wide panoramic display concept, a more minimal dashboard, sustainable materials, premium seats, advanced driver assistance, and a new digital interface designed to make the whole car feel alive. It will not just be a cabin, it will be BMW's future cockpit. The real shock is what this car represents. If the iX3 Neue Klasse succeeds, it could reset BMW's entire electric strategy. It could prove that an EV can still feel like a true BMW, sharp, premium, athletic, and emotional. Not just quiet transportation, but a machine with personality, precision, and status. At number 5, the 2026 Porsche Cayenne Electric is where the family SUV becomes almost impossible to understand. Because this is not just a luxury SUV with electric power. This is Porsche taking one of its most important models and pushing it into a new world where comfort, practicality, and brutal acceleration all exist in the same machine. The Cayenne has always been the Porsche for people who need space, but refuse to drive something boring. Now, with the electric version, that idea becomes even more extreme. The design is expected to stay muscular, wide, and unmistakably Porsche, but with a cleaner electric face, smoother aerodynamics, sharper lighting, and a more futuristic stance. It should still look expensive in front of a 5-star hotel, but now it also looks ready to hum silently through a city at midnight, like a private jet on wheels. Performance is where things become shocking. The strongest Cayenne electric models are expected to deliver more than 1,000 horsepower, with instant torque from a high-output, dual-motor all-wheel drive system. Some reports suggest 0 to 60 miles per hour could happen in around 2.5 seconds, or even quicker in the most powerful version. That means a large luxury SUV could accelerate like a hypercar, while still carrying passengers, luggage, and the quiet confidence of a Porsche badge. The battery system is expected to use advanced fast-charging technology, likely with an 800-volt architecture. Under ideal conditions, charging from 10 to 80% could take around 20 minutes or less, making it far more usable than many people expect from a high-performance EV of this size. Inside, the Cayenne Electric should feel like a digital luxury lounge with Porsche precision. Expect multiple screens, premium leather, elegant ambient lighting, sports seats, advanced driver assistance, and a cockpit built around the driver. It will not feel like a cold technology pod. It should feel like a Porsche, focused, expensive, and engineered with purpose. Estimated pricing could start around $90,000, while high-performance Turbo or Turbo S versions may climb well beyond $160,000. The Cayenne Electric shocks the world because it destroys old categories. It is an SUV, but faster than many supercars. It is electric, but emotional. It is practical, but completely outrageous. At number 4, the 2026 Porsche Cayenne Coupe Electric takes everything shocking about the regular Cayenne Electric and makes it look even more dangerous. This is the version for people who do not just want performance, they want presence. They want a roofline that looks faster before the car even moves. They want the practicality of an SUV, but the attitude of a grand touring machine, built for private roads, mountain tunnels, and midnight city lights. The Cayenne Coupe Electric is expected to share much of its advanced electric platform with the standard Cayenne Electric. But visually, it feels more emotional. The roofline slopes lower toward the rear. The body looks tighter and more athletic, and the rear profile gives it that unmistakable Porsche tension, almost like a 911 Spirit stretched over a high-riding luxury EV. From the front, it looks clean and futuristic. From the side, it looks expensive. From the rear, it looks like it is hiding serious power. And that power could be outrageous. The strongest versions are expected to push beyond 1,000 horsepower with instant electric torque and all-wheel drive traction that launches the vehicle with almost violent smoothness. Some estimates suggest 0 to 60 miles per hour could land near the 2.4-second range in the highest performance trim. For a luxury SUV coupe, that is almost unreal. This is the kind of acceleration that does not feel like speed building up. It feels like the road being pulled underneath you. Inside, Porsche is expected to give it a cabin filled with digital displays, premium leather, performance seats, ambient lighting, and the kind of driver-focused layout that keeps it from feeling like just another luxury EV. Estimated pricing may start above $95,000, while Turbo or Turbo S versions could easily climb past $170,000 with options. And now, I want to know your choice. Comment number 1 if this is the electric SUV coupe you would take over a Lamborghini Urus. What makes the Cayenne Coupe Electric shocking is not only the speed, it is the attitude. It proves that the electric future does not have to look soft, quiet, or predictable. It can look aggressive, expensive, and almost impossible to ignore. At number 3, the 2026 Cadillac Celestiq is not just a car. It is Cadillac trying to return to the highest table of luxury in the world. For decades, Cadillac was known as the standard of American prestige. The car parked in front of mansions, luxury hotels, and political motorcades. But over time, European brands like Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and Maybach became the symbols of billionaire-level comfort. The Celestiq is Cadillac's answer, and it does not arrive quietly. This is a hand-built, all-electric, ultra-luxury sedan with an estimated starting price around $340,000 before customization. And because every Celestiq is expected to be personally commissioned, final prices could climb much higher depending on materials, colors, interior themes, wheels, glass roof options, and bespoke details. This is not mass-market luxury. This is Cadillac entering the world of collectors, CEOs, celebrities, and people who want something almost nobody else owns. From the outside, the Celestiq looks long, low, and dramatic, almost like a concept car that escaped the design studio. The front lighting is thin and futuristic. The body stretches with limousine-like elegance, and the rear has a fastback shape that makes it feel more like a rolling piece of architecture than a normal sedan. It does not chase the traditional Rolls-Royce look. It creates a different kind of prestige: American, electric, and cinematic. Power comes from a dual-motor, all-wheel drive system, expected to produce around 600 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. Cadillac estimates 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3.8 seconds, which is shocking for a vehicle built more for silence, comfort, and presence than for raw speed. Range is expected around 300 miles, and DC fast charging should add useful range quickly when conditions are ideal. But the cabin is the real masterpiece. Inside, the Celestiq feels like a private lounge designed for 4 powerful people. Expect hand-finished materials, massive digital displays, a 4-quadrant smart glass roof, executive rear seating, premium audio, ambient lighting, and craftsmanship meant to challenge the best luxury cars in the world. The Celestiq shocks the world because it proves Cadillac is not only chasing Tesla in the EV age, it is chasing Rolls-Royce. And for American luxury, that is a bold, expensive, unforgettable statement. At number 2, the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 and the rumored ZR1X are where America stops asking for respect and starts taking it. For decades, European supercars have owned the dream. Ferrari had the sound, Lamborghini had the drama, Porsche had the precision. But the modern Corvette has been climbing closer and closer to that world. And now, with the new ZR1, Chevrolet is stepping into territory that feels almost unbelievable for an American sports car. The 2026 Corvette ZR1 is powered by a twin-turbocharged 5.5-liter flat-plane crank V8, known as the LT7. Output is rated at 1,064 horsepower and 828 pound-feet of torque. That is not just powerful for a Corvette, that is hypercar-level power. The top speed has been reported at over 230 miles per hour, making it the fastest production Corvette ever built. And because the engine still sits behind the driver, the entire car feels more exotic than any Corvette generation before it. From the outside, the ZR1 looks like a weapon shaped by air. The front splitter sits low and aggressive. The side intakes look ready to swallow the road, and the available high downforce aero package gives it a massive rear wing, carbon fiber details, and the kind of track-focused presence that makes ordinary sports cars look harmless. It does not look like a bargain supercar anymore. It looks like something built to hunt them. Inside, the cabin mixes Corvette familiarity with serious performance intent. Expect a driver-focused cockpit, digital displays, carbon fiber trim, sports seats, premium leather options, and enough comfort to remind you this is still a car you could drive on the street, not just a machine for lap times. Pricing for the ZR1 is expected to start well above the standard Corvette, likely around the $170,000 to $190,000 range before options. And if the ZR1X arrives as a hybrid all-wheel drive monster, rumors suggest it could push beyond 1,200 horsepower, creating an American hypercar that challenges machines costing several times more. But the real magic is value. A car with this speed from Europe could easily cost $500,000 more. The Corvette gives buyers that forbidden performance with a blue-collar soul and a fighter jet attitude. That is why this Corvette shocks the world. It proves America can build something brutally fast, technologically advanced, emotionally loud, and terrifying to Europe. At number 1, we have the car that may be the most controversial promise in the entire automotive world, the next-generation Tesla Roadster. This is not just another electric sports car. It is a machine surrounded by years of hype, delays, rumors, wild claims, and almost impossible expectations. And that is exactly why, if it finally arrives in 2026, it could shock the world more than anything else on this list. Tesla originally promised numbers that sounded like science fiction. 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 1.9 seconds, a top speed above 250 miles per hour, and a driving range potentially near 620 miles. Those figures would not just challenge supercars, they would challenge the entire idea of what a road car can do. And then there is the most mysterious part, the rumored SpaceX package. Elon Musk has spoken about cold gas thrusters, extreme acceleration, and performance that could make the Roadster feel less like a car and more like a land-based rocket. Could all of that reach production exactly as imagined? Maybe not, but the fact that people are even discussing it shows how strange and powerful the Roadster legend has become. Visually, the Roadster is expected to stay low, clean, and brutally aerodynamic. Not loud like a Lamborghini, not classic like a Ferrari. It looks more like a piece of advanced technology shaped into a supercar, with a glass roof, sharp lighting, tight proportions, and a body designed to slip through the air with almost silent violence. Inside, expect a minimalist Tesla cockpit, digital controls, performance-focused seating, and a cabin that may feel more like a spacecraft than a traditional luxury car. Estimated pricing has often been discussed around the $200,000 range for the base version, with higher special editions potentially costing much more. But the Roadster shocks the world because of the question around it. Will it finally arrive? Or will it remain the most famous unfinished promise in the EV world? If Tesla delivers even half of what has been promised, the Roadster could embarrass million-dollar hypercars, reset the conversation around electric performance, and become one of the most talked-about cars of the decade. But if it misses again, it will still dominate headlines from the entire auto industry. And that is why it earns number 1, because no other 2026 car carries this much speed, this much mystery, and this much pressure. 2026 may become the year the car world completely changes direction. Electric SUVs are becoming faster than supercars. Luxury sedans are turning into private lounges. And American performance is stepping into hypercar territory. Some of these cars will succeed, some may disappoint, but every one of them proves one thing. The future is no longer quiet, boring, or predictable. So comment which car shocked you the most. Hit like if you love the future of speed. And subscribe for more rare, powerful, and expensive cars.